The most embarrassing lie of my life happened during my dream college interview when I pretended to be fluent in French for 20 terrifying minutes. 10 years later, I am a professor at that same university, and my interviewer is now my boss. When Princeton University appeared on my high school's visit list, I nearly hyperventilated. As a first-generation college student from rural Nebraska, an Ivy League education seemed as distant as Mars. But my counselor insisted I sign up for an interview. Just be yourself, she said. The universal advice that helps absolutely no one. The night before, I obsessively researched my interviewer, Dr. Elaine Rousseau, Director of International Relations. Her CV mentioned she'd lived in Paris for a decade. Panic set in. What could I, a farm kid who'd never left the arena, possibly say to impress someone like her? Then I spotted it. A line on my resume I'd completely forgotten. Proficient in French, it claimed, a wild exaggeration based on 3 years of high school French, where I'd earned straight B's and could barely order a croissant. I should have corrected it immediately. Instead, I spent 8 frantic hours memorizing basic French phrases and rehearsing my pronunciation, praying she wouldn't notice my limitations. The interview started perfectly. Dr. Rousseau was warm and engaging as we discussed my extracurriculars and academic interests. Then disaster struck. "Oh, vous parlez anglais," she exclaimed, eyes lighting up. "In France, vous m'arrange nous continuons en anglais." My soul left my body. She wanted to continue in French. What followed was 20 minutes of pure linguistic chaos. I deployed every memorized phrase, regardless of relevance. When asked about my academic interests, I responded with, "J'aime la bibliothèque Erdek." I like the library. When she inquired about my career goals, I panicked and declared, "Je voudrais un croissant." I would like a croissant. Dr. Rousseau's expression shifted from confusion to amusement to something like fascination. I was sweating through my only dress shirt. Finally, mercifully, she switched back to English. "Your French is unique," she said diplomatically. "Perhaps more practice would be beneficial." I was certain my Princeton dreams were dead. 2 months later, an acceptance letter arrived. 4 years later, I graduated with honors in political science, never once taking a French class and avoiding Dr. Rousseau like she carried the plague. I went on to earn my PhD and through a series of unlikely events landed a tenure-track position back at Princeton in the International Relations Department. On my first day, the department secretary said, "The director wants to see you immediately." I walked into the office to find Dr. Rousseau, now the department chair, smiling broadly. "Bonjour, Professor Mitchell," she said. "Voulez-vous un croissant?" My face burned crimson. She remembered. I've been waiting 6 years to ask what on earth happened in that interview, so I confessed everything. The resume lie, the frantic cramming, the sheer terror. To my surprise, she burst out laughing. "That was the most memorable interview of my 30-year career," she admitted. "I recommended your acceptance specifically because of it." I stared at her in disbelief. "You showed remarkable commitment to the bit," she explained. "Even when it was clearly falling apart, you persisted. That kind of determination is rare. Besides, your political analysis was brilliant." Once we returned to English today, Dr. Rousseau is my mentor. I am fluent in 3 languages, yes, including proper French. And each year, when new faculty interviews begin, she insists I join the committee. "Watch for the ones who surprise you," she always says. "Sometimes the most promising candidates aren't the most polished. They're the ones willing to attempt the impossible." I never put proficient in French on my resume again, but "Je voudrais un croissant" has become our department's unofficial motto, printed on mugs we give to every new hire because sometimes your greatest failure becomes your most unlikely path to success, even if you have to fake your way through it first.